The PlayStation 3 was one of the best consoles ever. The games were top tier, online was free, and it had features that were great for the time. Me and my brother grew up playing on it, from playing Little Big Planet to playing Need for Speed. Even now, it holds up better than people realize. Most people think that it's a retro console that can't perform well. It played The Last of Us, Uncharted, games gamers still play today, even GTA 5. The PlayStation 3 had some of the best exclusives of all time, and honestly, a lot of them still hold up today. Sony was cooking. First off, you had Uncharted 2, which straight up set the standard for action-adventure games. The set pieces, the story, the characters, this game felt like a playable blockbuster movie. And then Uncharted 3 took it even further. Then there's The Last of Us, easily one of the best story-driven games ever. The game had insane emotional moments, great gameplay, and it's pretty much shaped modern single-player games. The crazy part, a lot of these games still look and play great today. The PS3 exclusives weren't just good for the time, they helped shape gaming as we know it. Okay, let's talk about the PlayStation Home, because this was one of the most underrated things on the PlayStation 3. Sony really had their own virtual world before anyone was even thinking about the metaverse. If you've never used it, PlayStation Home is basically a social hub where you could make an avatar, walk around, and interact with other players. You had your own apartment, could customize your character, and explore different themed areas based on games and brands. There were arcades, movie theaters, and even game spaces for Uncharted, Resistance, and other PlayStation exclusives. It was kind of like an early version of VR chat, but without the VR. And the wildest part, it was free. You could spend money on outfits and furniture, but just jumping in and hanging out, completely free. Looking back, PlayStation Home was way ahead of its time. If Sony brought it back today with better graphics and VR support, it could actually be huge. But for those of us who got to experience it, it was one of the best things about the PlayStation 3 era. One of the biggest wins the PS3 had over other consoles, it was that online play was completely free. No subscriptions, no paywalls, just hop on and play. Meanwhile, Xbox players had to pay for Xbox Live just to play multiplayer, like today. Imagine buying a game like Call of Duty and then realizing you have to drop extra money just to play online. On PS3, none of that. Yeah, PSN had its issues, sometimes the servers weren't that great, and we all remember the 2011 hack. But at the end of the day, it was free, and that meant more people could play online without worrying about extra costs. Plus, the PS3 had dedicated online features that were ahead of their time. And let's not forget how easy it was to hop into voice chats or send messages without paying a dime. It wasn't perfect, but free online made gaming way more accessible, and honestly, that's something I wish modern consoles would bring back. Me and my brother played on the PS3 all the way until 2016. Then he got an Xbox One, but for me, I wasn't feeling it. And honestly, the reason was kind of funny. I hated that you had to put batteries in the Xbox controller. Meanwhile, the PS3 controller just charged with a cable. I know, I was being picky, but it really annoyed me. But in all seriousness, the PS3 gave us some of the best gaming memories. We played Little Big Planet over and over, and have always whined whenever we had to play Minecraft instead. Those moments made the PS3 special for me. Even now, the PS3 is still my favorite console, and honestly, I don't think that's ever going to change.